Okay, so here are the notes for 1-2. Okay, it's equations of inverses today. Equations of inverses. All right, so we did graphing of inverses, and now we're going to talk about the equations. To find the equation of the inverse, you switch the x and y in the equation, and then you solve for y. So let's look at the first one. We have y equals 4x plus 8. So we're going to switch the x and the y. So now you're going to have, sorry, this is kind of blurry. You're going to have x is equal to 4y plus 8. Now I just switched these two. Now I'm going to solve for y, okay? So you're going to subtract your 8. And you're going to have x minus 8 equals 4y. And now you need to divide by 4 on both sides. So then you're going to get 1/4 x minus 2 equals y. So this is the inverse equation of this. Okay? Let's look at number 2. So you're going to have y f of x is the same thing as y. Y is equal to 7 minus 5x. Now you're going to swap the x and the y. So x is equal to 7 minus 5y. And you're going to solve for y. So subtract your 7. And you're going to get x minus 7 equals negative 5y. Now you're going to divide by negative 5 on both sides. So those cancel out, and you get negative 1/5 x plus 7/5 equals y. Okay? So negative 7 over negative 5 gives you positive 7/5 equals y. So this equation right here is your answer. That is the inverse of the equation up here. Okay, number 3 is going to work the same way. We will work that one in class. Well, I'll go ahead and do it, so the people that are remote can have it. So we're going to have y is equal to 2x squared minus 6. You're going to flip them. So x equals 2y squared minus 6. Okay, you're going to add your 6 over to the other side. So you're going to get x plus 6 equals 2y squared. Divide by 2. Those 2's cancel out. You're going to get 1/2 x plus 3 equals y squared. Now then, you've got to take the square root of both sides to get rid of that squared. Okay, so that means your answer becomes plus or minus the square root of 1/2 x plus 3 equals y. So we got this, and then to get rid of your squared, you have to take the square root, because those cancel each other out. So you're left with, when you take the square root of a squared variable, your answer becomes a plus or minus solution. So plus or minus the square root of 1/2 x plus 3 equals y. So this is your answer. All right, easy, right? Okay, let's see. Write the equation of the inverse. Graph y is equal to x as a dotted line, just like we did today. And then graph the following relation and its inverse on the same set of axes. Okay? All right, so we're going to flip the x and the y. X is equal to 2y plus 4. And we're going to solve. So now you're going to minus, you're going to put it in y equals, we want it. So we're going to have x minus 4 equals 2y. Let's cancel out. We're trying to get it in y equals. So divide by 2. 1/2 x minus 2 equals y. This is the inverse. Okay? When you switch the x and the y and you get it in y equals format, that's your y. I mean, that's your inverse. This is your inverse. Write it out there if you need to know. All right. So now we need to graph both of them, right? So if you put these in your calculator, you can graph them, okay, without having to plot all the points. So y equals, I'm going to put in my first one, which is 2x plus 4. So 2x plus 4. Okay. Now then in my y2, I'm going to put my inverse. Okay. 1/2 x minus 2. So parentheses, 1 divided by 2, x minus 2. And I'm going to graph it. All right. So there it is. You can zoom in or out, but you can draw this graph over here. You can go to your table if you need to, which is second graph. You can look at your table. So 0, 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your y1, which is your graph. 1, 6. So now I'm going to go 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it says 2, 8. And it says 3, 10. Negative 1, 2. I'm reading the chart over here. So my x and my y1. Negative 2, 0. Okay. I'm just getting some points to plot my line. Now then I'm going to plot my y2. So at negative 2, I get negative 3. Okay. So I'm going to go back down here where it's closer to 0. So my x is negative 2, negative 3. So you're going to have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You're going to have 0, negative 2. So 0, negative 2. See, I find x is 0 and y2 is negative 2. So now 2 and negative 1. So 2, 1, 2, and negative 1. So now 4 and 0. So 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 0. Okay, so I'm going to draw my line. Okay, now I'm going to draw my dotted line, like we said, where y is equal to x, right? On the notes yesterday for 1, 1. So draw a dotted line in between there. And you can tell it's the inverse, right? You can see that they're symmetrical on both sides of your y is equal to x line. Okay. It says, is the relation in a function? Is the inverse in a function? So is the relation in a function, which is your first one? Yes, it is. Okay, that's your first line, your y1. So write that. Your relation is your y1 on your notes. Is it a function? Yes. If you did the vertical line test for your y1, it would only cross it one time, so it is a function. Now then here's your y2, which is your inverse. Okay, it says, is the inverse a function? So this line right here, if you did the vertical line test, it's only crossing it one time. So yes, it is a function. So they are both yes and yes. Okay, and we'll look at 5 tomorrow. That's all you have to do for 1, 2.